This is a story about life, about struggle, about success. Not just mine, but yours too. Because whether you see it now or not, we're all trading something every single day. Time, energy, choices. That's life. That's trading. I wasn't always here. I wasn't always the guy you see on your screen. I started out just like most people, uncertain, broke, doubting the system, doubting myself. But one thing kept me going, the belief that life's biggest opportunities aren't given, they're taken, and I took mine. See, trading isn't just about charts, candles, or currencies. It's about discipline, patience, and the courage to bet on yourself. It's about understanding that every loss is a lesson and every win is a stepping stone. It's about the grind, the sleepless nights, the early mornings, and that voice in your head telling you to keep going when the rest of the world says stop. But let me tell you something. This journey didn't start with success. It started with failure. More failures than I can count. I remember sitting in front of my screen, watching the markets eat me alive, thinking maybe this isn't for me. But deep down, I knew it wasn't about the markets. It was about me, my mindset, my choices, my willingness to adapt, to learn, and to grow. The truth is, trading is a mirror. It shows you who you really are. It forces you to face your fears, your doubts, and your limits. But it also shows you your potential if you're brave enough to see it. I'm here now because I refuse to quit, because I learned to see every loss as a stepping stone, every setback as a setup for a comeback, and if there's one thing I want you to take away from this, it's this. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be persistent. Success isn't about getting it right all the time. It's about staying in the game long enough to win. This isn't just a stream. This is a movement. A space where we don't just talk about markets. We talk about life, about growth, about becoming the best version of yourself, not just as a trader, but as a person. Because the truth is, the charts don't care about you. This community does. I do. Together, we're gonna rise. is where traders are made. This is where dreams are built. And this is where let's get it.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you. I didn't realize I was on mute. Thank you, Camp. Appreciate that. My bad. I've spoken so much. All right. Yeah. Damn, I've said so much. First time catching the intro. Appreciate it. Yeah, there's gonna be more changes coming. So look, the daily closed bearish here, and the week and the 4 hours bullish. So for the session, I would be bullish to continue up here, but if we're able to start breaking the 4 hour lows and down here and get back down here, that would be a range to break out, and that would also be clean range to the left here down to 40.75 at least. I'd say 40.73 areas. So let's see if we can get some closures above here. I would love to move on up. A little choppy on the 5, but we've kind of cleared that out. If we can just get this closure here in about 4.5 minutes above the range. Maybe a wick fill. The thing is, it's kind of moved here quite a bit. 35, 40 pips. Yeah, we'd want it to maybe make a top wick, come back down in range. Right, so if we can get that closure above, see if we can push up, right? Get that top wick going, come back down, so we start looking like this, right? And then we'll have a buy stop on the break of the highs once we retest these areas, because eventually I do want to look right this. At least to this area, I would want to wick here. If this just pushes up, then it just pushes up. There's no bottom wick on this 15. The previous 15 closed in range. We got a light candle on the previous 15. Brother man, can't hear ya. You should be able to hear me now. Good. Maybe we'll create some new structure, new range. Let's look at this. Oof. How steep is this stop? Huh. Interesting. It's the 1 hour wick fill, and you see how we've come down, we've come up here before, and I'm sorry, the 4 hour wick will come up here before, came down, now we're filling that wick with momentum. We can break all of this. If this matched up here on the 4 hour as well down here, if this closure was down here, I think we'd be looking for this sell limit here right now. So it hasn't. Let's see if we can have the smaller time frames here now give us a bit of a clue. Let's see if we can get a nice closure that would tell us we're gonna head the other way or we're running out of range, right? So if we can get a leg candle closure at resistance versus at support, we might see this pull back. No soccer today. Is nothing today. What am I doing? I'm watching MLB over here. This is terrible. Major League Bumbuckler. So you play on the 1 hour, 4 hour? Yeah, we mean on the 4 hour. The celery, no, the 4 hours of wick fill. The 1 hour is right there, celery play, but there was no bottom wick here. Morocco tomorrow. Look, I'm rooting for the underdog. So, like I said, I think France wins it this year, but I'm going to root every game for the underdog. So, I'm going to be rooting for Morocco tomorrow. Plus, they're the only African team left. And, I love me my African. So, I'm going to be... I might do blackface. Cancelled. There's no top wick on 4120. Is that possible to come? It's possible. Yeah, everything's possible. Oh, no top wick. I mean, no bottom wick. And no top wick closure. But that's a lot of momentum. This thing can fucking blast right through here. It's a heavy candle. We might see the same candle. No bottom wick. Boom. But if it pulls back, I'm not fucking with it. 35. Yeah, I'm gonna need some higher time frame resistance. So, man, that's not the closure or the candle. That's the closure I want. That's not the candle I want. This is 110 pip push up on the first 15. Who's to say we don't continue up on the... No bottom wick, no top wick. That's a lot of momentum. This could just be the middle of a 1 hour candle here. Right? Levels up here for resistance where we come down from 1, 2. Yeah. I would rather see this close above and get some buy. Or get a nice strong bearish closure and then we'll take a top wick entry. Really don't want it over here. Decent closure. It's a good no top wick closure, but this push on this candle and the fact that it had no bottom wick, closed no bottom wick. This next candle, a lot of times candle opens no bottom wick, just pushes. Next candle does the same thing. Damn it, I keep forgetting I'm muted. Yeah. See, let's wait for this 30 to close. I guess you could take a, what, 40 pip stop, 45 pip if. Look, if we were getting there, it would have been about a 42 pip stop. This right here, SPAR shows at 42. 42, 42. Yeah, if we get a closure like this, I'll look for a top wick entry. Right now, I just need this to close because we could just be closing bullish 30, next candle bottom wick, and then we continue up. If we open up with a top wick, I will look for a sell limit off this 15 right here. 4096.7. If we can close like we are right now, I don't know if we might just push down, right? The 30 is still open, no bottom wick. We can just push straight down off this resistance. But if we're able to get this closure on a 15, just so early in this 15 though, then we're looking for that top wick entry after a candle close in our direction. That entry right here. You know, that never broke the previous 4-hour low. I think we could have played. The 4-hour high. We're about to get raided by blue-haired witches. Crazy. It's coming home. Hey, if England makes it to the final, I'll be rooting for England. I'm honestly rooting for England the rest of the way. I am. I'm rooting for England the rest of the way. Potential rematch? Yeah, keep dreaming. They're gonna stop the World Cup and do a yeah. Argentina gonna play a rematch? Nah, Argentina not playing nothing. They're yeah, game's over. The only way that's happening is if Donald Trump picks up the phone and says, "Look, I'm gonna need you to look into this." That's the only way it's gonna happen. It was in the news? Hold on. Where are you from? What country are you from? What country are you from? USA? Or you need to... You need to pick a country and stick to it. He said, I'm from USA, Egypt. I didn't know there was a city called USA in Egypt. You're saying signals daily in your prior group? Yes. Norway team caught the hentai virus. Yeah. Oh, they flew out of Fort Lauderdale Airport, and when their bus passed, my daughter was playing. Oh, she was with her friends. They were driving somewhere, and yeah, they passed right by Norway's bus over here by the airport. They were pulling in to fly out of Miami. Like 8 buses, like fucking 100 police cars. The referees for France versus Morocco tomorrow are all Argentinian. Can you tell me why the referees for like the Spain game were like all Uzbeki? Why would you have a team of Uzbekistan referees? I mean, I know the rules and they're supposed to give every country like a certain amount of refs. But not knockout stages. 3 Uzbeki referees. Those guys didn't know what the hell was going on. They were looking for some rice pilaf. They're like, anybody got a bowl, man? Running around hungry and shit. You seen how skinny they are? You know why? Because they're from fucking Uzbekistan. You seen the Colombian and the Mexican referees? Those motherfuckers fried lagmans too. Yeah, those motherfuckers running around chubby and shit, eating good. Damn, this shit came all the way down. I'm tight. I didn't take that. I usually would have. But the 4 hours bullish, right? And the 4 hours already had a bottom wick. No, I honestly, no, I wouldn't have taken that. Like, yeah, I'm thinking we're refilling the 4 hour wick there. It doesn't really line up with many things. It looks good right now, right? But like I said, hindsight is 20/20. Things can look good, but looking for sells, yeah, I would have preferred, but we've got to close below here. This was a nasty candle here on the 15. 15. And the thing is, look, it broke that low. There's nothing stopping this from now lying straight up to re-break highs. Except time. Filipinos would make the best soccer players? No way. Africans make the best soccer players. You know why? Look at France. Look at France. There's that. One hour celery? No. Subscription only on WAP. Yeah. Oh, those prices going up. Decided it's going to go up to in July, and you'll be grandfathered in. Anyone that's there currently will be grandfathered in all prices. And sorry, July right now. August 1st, the price. I forgot to mention that. Shit's always funny, bro. Africans for athletics, and then Asians for anything regarding math or video games. Yep. And rednecks for porn. Right up. Shout out Ron Jeremy. That printed no structure. I know a whole bunch of you got in on sells here at the top wick with no top wick on the previous. Reggie definitely in there, no? The buys from the bottom? No, I think a whole bunch of people had that top wick entry there. Stuck in traffic. Hopefully gold waits for you. Yeah, me too. Stuck in this traffic right here. See this fucking shit in the way. Man, the 30 looked clean here. We just get that closure below in 4 minutes. Yeah, I'm surprised. I really thought a lot of you would have those sells. $30-minute sells incoming after top week. It depends where we close. Closure matter. Closure matter. Really want to do. No VIP private group in Telegram. Why does everybody need a Telegram? There's VIP and private groups through the Discord. Discord's a much better platform than Telegram. Fuck Telegram. We've had Telegram before, like 7 years ago. I spent a lot of time doing this. You guys have seen me stream 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different houses, 5 different offices. Same. How long I streamed for? Half a decade. There are thousands of live streams, bro. We go to my YouTube. Hold on, go to my YouTube. There's fuck that. 1.6K video. There's more than like 1,500 live stream, more than 1,500 live stream. Think about that. Over 1,500 live. That's, you know, how many live streams do you get a year? 300, you know, roughly. Like, yeah, there's almost 2,000 lives. That's years and years and years live streaming. And then we were on Don's stream since like 2019, 2020, I think. That song go, you guys remember Nas? Seen it all, been through it all. However do you want me? However do you need me? Oh, that wasn't Nas, but he was the one talking. I think that was the beginning of Belly, right? Seen it all, been through it all. All right, well, the 30 closed there. We're back in range. Still closed bullish and still above the most recent 30. So this is, we got to get a closure outside the range. Not 15, man. That top wick. Does everyone hate Raja? I don't think that's true. I think Raja hates everyone. I don't think everyone hates Raja. I've never not liked him. Raja was the reason I went to price action. I just could not figure it out with having the multiple EMAs, the RSI, the MACD, the Fibonacci, and the Bollinger Band. I couldn't figure it out having all of that on my screen at the same time while having the EMA crossover. But you guys remember Focus, the guy that introduced me to trading? I told him, I was like, man, I'm struggling. I can't figure this out. He's like, yo, this is a dude that streams on YouTube. He don't trade like me or you, right? But he might be more of your way of trading. I looked at it and he was doing price action, nothing on the screen. I was like, all right, that's dope. And he was supposedly making some money. And I got rid of everything. And that's what he influenced me to go into price action. Don't call up Roger. He's from the 6. No, I'm like, there's many different types of price. Like, people trade price action differently, but that was the beginning of me seeing that somebody's doing price action and just zone to zone, range to range, closures. Like, it's, you know, the universal concepts of price action trading. Like, that influenced me to go, man, fuck all these indicators. And then I spoke to Ted a bunch of times, and he was like, that's all lagging, my friend. Like, these are all lagging. Like, bro, just learn to read candles and what they tell you. And like, after a while, it was just like, what the fuck am I doing with all these indicators? So yeah, I got rid of all the indicators in like end of 2019, 22. I have not opened an indicator since. Yeah, we use only one indicator, the EYES indicator, and that's the only thing we've ever used. Raj is the best. He's not. Weiss is the best. Raj is. Bro, there's no competition. I'm going to say this all the time. There's no competition amongst traders. I'm not trying to be better than anybody else. There's no grind to be better than anyone else. The only grind, the only real hustle here is against poverty. That is the only thing that matters. My only grind, my only hustle is against poverty, not against any other trader. I'm trying to get myself and my family as far away from poverty as possible, and, you know, make that separation greater, expand that distance. And I don't care about other traders. And honestly, that's what you guys should worry about. You guys should worry about getting yourself and your family as far away from poverty that you never have to worry about it. A gold standard of that would be to be so far away that you would have to really fuck up on purpose multiple times in order to lose everything you have. Right? So just work on getting away from poverty. It doesn't matter if you have the most money in the world, the least money in the world, you know, made the most, awesome. None of that matters. What matters is, like, how comfortable are you, you know, like, living? Can you take advantage? Can you take your mind off of the monetary thought and fill that space with bettering yourself, improving yourself, doing other things, reaching other goals, expanding your horizons, building things, help, you know, philanthropy, helping others, educating, you know, improving the existence of others, having a positive, beneficial effect, impacting others' lives in a fruitful way. illustrated style. I've never seen him trade. 30-minute was a good entry. We just trade different. Yeah, we get a nice bullish closure here. I'm looking for some buys to retest the highs. Get something like this. This is what I'll be looking for. It really depends how we open up here as well, because I think I'm going to want to see the break of the highs. Bottom wick here could still come down. It really depends how we close, respecting this area or not. See the wicks here, see that closure there, no wick. Right into it, level. Possible closure. Hey, Jonathan. What's up, man? Break on us. Yeah, I went to smoke. Four minutes here on this 15. We've attempted these pushes out of volume time. See, it's volume time now, though. So we get these closures below, we should push. Find you on private Discord. Get the bundle. The bundle, bro. Minutes. Just heads up on one link that doesn't seem to work. It's not. It will be. No, I know. It takes a lot harder to build things out. What do you think? Got to take you to a landing page, and the landing page has got to be updated and all that. So. Signal. You would not get a signal. You'll see me doing what I do. Trading, taking positions. We'll discuss it. But right now, there's nothing here. candles printing next to each other, alongside each other. Be interesting if the hourly could actually close above. We get the next candle to close above here. It's a fake out on the 15. The hourly closes above with a wick fill, and bottom wick. We can fill that range up. Get stuck in this area. Then I can do it here. 50 pip range sucks. Market moves in twos, just like women going to the bathroom. I don't even know what that means, though. All right, new 15 just opened here. $13 left here in this hourly candle. We will most likely watch it close, watch it print, and ideally it's outside of this chop so we can take advantage of it. But yeah, be interesting if we can close below here and the 4 hour continues to move down here. Clean range below, clean range above. Low voice, yeah, because I said back from the mic. Close. What's up, bro? While we're waiting, please drop a like, sub to the channel if you guys can. What's up, Dana? Smoke. Yeah. What's up, man? No way to pay? Yeah, there is. You just click on the bundle and pick which month. How do you want it? 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, a year, and pay. Eight minutes here for the hourly to close. Let's see, did we push in the last 8 minutes? What do we do? What do we do? It broke the hourly low. Not rebroken the 4-hour low. 8 minutes, a lot of time. Yeah, I'm not taking any break at the lows or anything, right? We can break the lows, pump right back up in range. I need a closure. Closure will tell me that there's volume. Just like this closure, you see outside the range, told you there's volume. Volume to drive or come back into the range. We don't know, but there's volume. Now we need more closures outside the range, right? Because our job here is to predict a high volume candle with high degree of probability. Could have taken that sell here, high volume candle, high degree of probability, right? We could have wait for this closure. You close outside this range, you're expecting the next candle to have volume and push, right? Because you close outside the range, you're expecting the next candle to be the high volume candle, one after the closure outside the range. Look at that. Broke the hourly low, back in range right now. So, some fuckery happening. Right? I tell you, closure outside the range is the indication of volume. Why? Because like you're trying to catch the volume candle, the one following the closure outside the range is usually the volume candle. But that's all I mean by that being an indication of volume. Where's Kenny? Kenny out there busy creating banners and posters and shit. I feel like you want to trade in public, man, just trade and then eventually add things on. You guys remember my first stream? I had nothing. I didn't even know how to work. Oh, I didn't know how to work nothing. I didn't have a camera. I didn't have nothing. I know I'm doing. I just threw a chart on screen and I was talking. Probably still there, the very first stream. Okay, 5 minutes to go. 5 minutes to go. What are we gonna do? What was that sound? Four minutes on this 1 hour candle. might see a bounce off this lower right here. 4083.4, where we wigged into just now. Might come right down. Yeah, knowing if this is how we close. Four hours, still bullish that previous 4 hours. $50 here. If we close below here, let me look at the 1 hour. 1 hour is right there. Be very careful. We can close right at this area and still push up after a bottom wick. We get a closure below here. Yeah, I'm gonna look for a bottom wick first. Top wick back into range. And then the rebreak. If we just came back to this 1 hour. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2. Right at it. Down. Up. Below the most recent. All right. I will have a sell stop once we come back up into range here. Be able to break. All right, perfect. Sell stop here on the break at the lows of the current candle.
Previous candle, probably better. 15, 17. I think I'd want to go break even by the time it gets there. So we have a sell stop on the break of the current candle low. Interesting. 4 hour rebroke highs. 1 hour was a leg candle that respected
technically we can pull up and fill the leg candle. Yeah, that was a good sell right there on top. Interesting. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna take a sell right here, right where we are, and if anything, I'll take a pineapple. I'll keep the stops on the break at a current candle high. Matter of fact, I'm gonna move stops to break even, right here. Oh, they won't let me. Right back up. Once we flipped, I want it to go break even. See if we can do it again. All right, one break even there. I want to see if we can flip. Get rid of that sell stop. Sell stop. All right, so we're about 35 pips in profit here. Buy limits at 40.76. A little bit more. I just need a little bit more. Back down. Get rid of them because it might smash. I'm gonna close partials right there for 40. So 40, I close partials, and we're gonna have a runner. This runner's good. Stops to break even. I know you guys saw me move my stops in the signal channel because we can push back up from here. But if we come down here, I'm going to keep this runner at the bottom of the range here. We have an entry. I know you guys hear me talking about it. Grace price stab. Check out the data. No, we got in entries 4083.9. So short. Remember I said I'm taking a sell right here. 4083.9. This is what we look like right now. About 70 pip. Oh my god, it almost smacked TP. We saw 105. I didn't close. Wow. Let me see if we can get back down there. It really smacked it. It got there and pushed right back up. Damn, if we come back up here and come on, let's go. 105. Give me 105. It really got to RTP. RTP is right there. About to hit it. Can we make it? Come on. 2 pips away. He's bouncing like. We're at 90 pips in profit right now. Stops to break even, obviously. Targets 73.8. Might come back up for that top wick. Motherfucker! It got there. I had my TP a bit off. I had TP like this. And it missed it by like 3 or 4 pips. So I put it back over here. That's where it was supposed to be. Right there, this level. It actually tapped it. I just misplaced my TV, but we secured partials. We're about 65 pips in profit right now. Let's see if we can hit a full one here. So much potential in this range, man. I'm just gonna extend it. I'm gonna bring this down. I'm bringing it down to 40.62 areas. 40s. I'm gonna bring this down. If it wants to run, it runs. We secured partials. This is a 10% runner I got left. I secured 90% of my position at 40. Just so clean down.
tapped our TP. And fucking had it placed on a different level.
Good thing about this though, we got a good entry above the range, top wick. So I mean, if it taps us, that means we were wrong in terms of the direction, right? Because then it should start coming back up there. Yeah. I knew we'd see that drop too, and I ended up. Level breaks that right. Where we go next candle? Paint drop 68. Secure partial at 90? No, I secure them. What do you mean at 90? I secure them at levels. I don't know. Sometimes it's 40, sometimes 50, sometimes 90, sometimes 100, sometimes 200. I meant to put my partials right here. This closure right there. These wicks all filled that level, and it smacked it. It went right past that. I put my partials right here for some reason, right below there, right below where it's at. It got like a few pips away, and then I mean I put my TP there. Partials here were right there at the very next support. That's why they're there. It just, in this case, it's 40 pips. Right, entry was 39.9. Over here, it's 80 flat. 39.9. That's what partials. But we're at around 50 pips in profit, right? But we saw over 100. It's just some reason, man. So we didn't secure there. I think if it gets back down there, we'll start re-breaking the wick and filling the next range. And the next range got quite a bit of range here, so see if we can do that, and if not, then we already got a W here. Yeah, I closed, no, do I always close 90? No, usually I close 70, and then I'll split it up, 10, 10, 10, or I'll close 70, and I'll do 15 and 15 for the remaining. Sure, stops to break even here, flip, we can drive the other way. Ability. Top wick, 5 came right back down. Yeah, you're probably going to see a bottom wick here to 40.80 flat and a move right back up. So I think we're going to tap 40.80 flat. Watch. Right back to our level. So our TP, right? Or our partials. Back up. I don't know if it did it. Did it do it? Oh, it got close. I think it still gets there. Price tap 40.80 and right back up. Because we're above this level now, right? That was why the first partials there. I really wanted to get in up here, honestly. I saw it happen. I was like, man, I've seen this before exactly like this. And just from knowledge, from experience, not based on this being in my strat, but from experience, I've seen this happen. The stops would have been 42 pips. That would have been 45. The hit. Daniel Holder. Are you in there? Gotcha. Yeah, be hit. We might come back down. I will take positions down or up. We just want to close. A great wick down. We can continue moving up now.
What's good? What's good, Vix?
What's up, man? How are you?
I'm good. I had the tip of the wick again, just like last night.
Man, I seen this happen so many times, and I've thought to myself, man, we got a bottom wick here. I wish this could push up.
The
Then I'm
daily,
like, it just doesn't make sense. Like we've seen this happen here. Heavy range, push up, boom. When we break out down to the bottom, we usually come back up and retest the top of this range for the move down.
because
And that's exactly what
what
it did there.
what gives me an edge is the way how the daily, the hourly, every time frame just came up, right? And as
Every
it's
time frame
something
was
to
making the
that,
wick.
yeah,
Every time frame was
yeah,
making the wick. The daily was making the top wick there. 4
yeah,
hour. Yeah.
yeah,
While the hourly. The thing is, yeah, and you didn't have this bottom wick here, right? This whole thing didn't
yeah,
exist. Exactly. Yeah, time frames all fall in line. But I've seen this top wick happen so many times before. You get that closure below, right? 15, gave you that closure, you got the push down, and it didn't break the lows. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna take it on the re-break of the lows. And I'm like, man, I've seen this whipsaw happen so many times, because what's gonna happen, here's how it does it. This will push back up to here, right? It'll come back down, and this candle will eventually do this. Gonna get that heavy push down. I don't know how far down. And I want to make sure that we see this completely on the screen. So you'll probably get that push down. Looks ugly now. Next support. If it does this, it's gonna wanna break these highs on the way up. And when that happens, you're gonna see a strong pushes like this. You're not supposed to get stuck in that range. Until here. You're gonna come back down here, get stuck in here, and then it's gonna do all this. That's gonna be your whipsaw. Typically after that, you'll see a push up. Resistance, yes, to push down. But you'll see this heavy drive down, and then you'll find support, and that drive up should be just as clean. That's going to be the correction of this heavy push down. Once you start seeing those bullish indications, you're good to go, because there will be a correction of the move. But before the correction, look at all this range. Look at all this range. So if we start re-breaking lows, closing below, we've got a lot of range to fill here. Oh, let's add that to a W. So that brings a stream record win number 691. Not a big win, but it's right. It actually came out to 37. That might have been the extent of that move down, right? And then you're gonna get this whoops to push up here and then back down to a little range. these tight ranges, people were betting heavy on price in there, which means no matter whatever's cleared out here, like some of it stays over. Like in here, clean, but this is gonna attract price back into there.
Yo,
Damn, my bad, gang. Benny done, like, I left the yard door. It's closed, but it's not locked on a latch. And this motherfucker just, like this with his nose. Opened it up. And ran after the neighbor. I heard my neighbor yelling. He was running with fucking garbage totes. So, yo! I ran out. I was like, damn, probably just eating somebody right now. Hear him barking. My neighbor over there, full speed. And he's big too. He's like 6'2", 380. Big motherfucker. Boy, fucking play for the Dolphins. But what you doing? You can't do that to the neighbors. We gonna get evicted, bro. I do see this price coming down, but for now we hold it. We hold it. there's yeah. Not a big fan of the trickle down here. I want some closures, right? We got a decent closure, top wick back in the range. We can play the wick fill coming down now that we've closed below. And don't forget, you see this forming a little support there? It's closing below that support that it formed. Yeah, this was a bullish candle. This bearish candle is going to close below that bullish candle opening. Well, we don't know if it is, but if it does, right? Top wick, break of this low, nothing changes. This wick or this candle here, this range, this is just clean range. That's all it is, just clean range. No difference between this. I'm gonna need a closure. You feel me? Also, check this out, right? We've closed. We filled the range, right? We broke the lows here, but closed back up above everything. The higher time frame supports, even the hourly right there. You could get a bullish candle here, hourly onion, and continue up. Possibility. It's not a probability, but it's a possibility. Damn. That fucking plus 37 over there for the sells, that should feel like a B, bro. I'm about to change the rules. Anything 50 pips and under is a B. These fucking ranges, man. There's gotta be a, like, this shit gave us 100. Gave us more, dude. It's funny, I was talking to y'all, I didn't even realize we saw that heavy drop. Oh. Tired. I am tired. Broke. Of the shoulder area, be careful. The hourly. So if we had this on the hourly here, boom, for reference. Look at that 15. Came down, came back up, held the hourly level there, closed above it. Now this will be your technically your first closure below the hourly level. Yo, I was smoking a joint a second ago, wasn't I? Oh, what the hell happened? Nobody yell nothing. As I said. This is what I said we were looking for, remember? It's gonna do this, gang. It's gonna do all of this. This is super overextended. Clean range to the left here, very overextended. Ideally, we come back up here. It might not. It might just continue pushing, at which point we'll need new structure and new resistance. No cells here to break the lows. Nothing. You need new structure. Ideally, like I said, a retest of 4080 and then a break back below here. So the same way you came up here is the same way you want to come down here. Why? Because it gives us an edge, right? Shit, it's going to come down. It's going to come down. Let's take cells. No, but that gives you an edge in terms of entry. Okay, there we go. 4080s. Tapped. Literally just said 4080 area. I love trading. In the split side. Yeah. Now let's see if we get up to 32, 82 and then back down below 76. Look for some cells. $80.6. What is the entry? Oh, we already had sales, but I'm looking for more. There's no entry right now. No positions. The 4-hour broke the previous 4-hour low. That one didn't really have much of a bottom wick, so we could still flip and drive, right? Which wouldn't be that bad for us either, because we can take advantage of this clean range to the left. But ideally, man, we get this little rejection at 83, or maybe a resistance formed at 83 that we can utilize to our advantage and bring this back down, right? Because any entry here at 82, 86 areas, I'm sorry, 82, 83 areas, we are not coming back to it if we are, like, that's a runner entry. It's also a cowboy entry at the moment, right? Because you can get yeehawed real quick. You did spot on to the frequency. Yeah, that's where we saw the reaction. Now it's gonna push back to 82, 83. Look at our white line. Everyone loves the white line. Who doesn't love a white line? Damn. Back down. Wait, where was our white line? Not all white line, our white lines. The resistance area, right? So at this point, now you can say, right? You don't want, remember I said a minute ago, it seems like it was like a few minutes ago, 3 minutes ago, I said it when we were down here. You don't want to take those cells down if it starts re-breaking the lows here, because you want to drive down off resistance. You've gotten there. If the market's moving so fast and if it's so parabolic that it's not just stopping and giving you closures and it's moving, right? You're not looking for now to create the resistance. Not, I mean, if it's just going to continue down here, you're not looking for it to come back up and tap. It's done it for you here. Now you don't have to worry about that. Now you can come back down here, close below. It's created structure. Yeah, on a smaller time frame because it's moving so fast that on a 30 or a 15, it just looks like one clean candle. But You're now moving down off resistance, right? If this starts coming down and breaking the lows, you're moving down off resistance, breaking support. You held a support, came up with resistance, and that resistance was strong enough to now break that support. What are you gonna do? You're gonna fucking go to the next range. Look at this shit to the left. That's a lot of clean room. Oh, we gotta wait. We gotta wait. Gotta get there. Gotta confirm that it's doing that. See that? Never close below it just yet. Technically, it will be the first tower to close below. I think we've broken down every single part of today's movement. Even this top wick here that we didn't take. In hindsight, right? If that never broke the previous 4-hour high, and if that's the start of the rally down, man, your risk was so minimal for so much that it's plus. Yeah, we spoke about this resistance, spoke about this, spoke about that closure below, spoke about filling this range, coming back up to this. Like, we pretty much discussed all of this before it happened, and then it happened, and just took advantage of the sells, and you kind of, you see how eventually you can start reading all of the market, what it typically does. You won't be right all the time. You'll be wrong a lot of times, right? But you'll get better and better and better at this, where you'll know which part of the market you're comfortable locking in on in terms of taking your positions, right? You can read all of this and get in here, get in here, get in here, get in here. I chose to get in on that top wick, right? But technically, if you understand what it's doing, you can read all of this. It's just really about your comfort levels and where you want to get in, because you'll see opportunity here. If you know where it's going, what it should do, and what it's likelier to do, right? You can start locking in on opportunities and areas that give you an edge. What's the analysis? Do you consider programming strategy? I've been asked by hundreds of people. No, I've never considered. I believe it's too nuanced to have all these layers on top of each other. Too nuanced. And if anyone's selling you automation and it's affordable, or if it's even affordable for a, if it's not affordable but affordable for a rich person, right? There's levels. No, it's all bull. It doesn't fucking work. Someone has the Holy Grail, they're not selling it to you. They're using it to either build a fund, or if it'll be proprietary and build a clientele base, I'll make way more than on sales. Yeah, but people got rich off sales. It's because the shit was bullshit, right? All the Lambo guys and all the social media guys. None of it works. Yeah. I can't believe all we secured was 37. We saw over 100. Pissed off, man. Well, it's better to be pissed off than pissed on. Wick's wisdom. Yeah. Don't sweat the petty stuff. Don't pet the sweaty stuff. Don't prick your finger and don't finger your prick. If you really follow some rules to enter the market and exit from, you should be able to automate entries to follow your strategy. Okay, but who's going to automate the risk management? You? You know what I mean? Like, if you got to be there for any part of the trade, you might as well just be there for the trade. And even then, I think entries are so nuanced in terms of what I look at. If it's possible, it's got to be like with the team at IBM to do it. I'm going to need Watson. Watson? What? Oh my God, the 4 hours coming up on the last 15-minute candle. What are you doing? Hey gang, can we all chip in? I need a small loan of $100 million. Small loan. Not like I'm asking for 200, right? $100 million? 10 years? Nah, give me 10 years and I got you. Give me 10 years. In 10 years, actually, no. Algos run because of humans. I like this level. Yeah, that's how we get runners, bro.
We got a runner!
How we get them. $14 minutes left on this 1 hour, on this 4 hour, on this everything. Do not want a doji candle here. buy algorithm has to get started by a person. Damn, son. What about like if you're full on LGBT HDTV? Then what? What if you're the L or the G? What about a gay algorithm? Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. You get a bearish 15. I'm just gonna look for a top wick and a break of the lows. You get a bearish closure here at this area. You got 10 minutes left. Hold on, I'll run to the bathroom real quick. BRB, LOL, AFK. Hold on. One more minute. Six minutes. 6 minutes. Six minutes, Slim Shady, you're on. All right, let's see if it can hold, or will it pump back up or pump straight down. Do not want this range filled now. We want top wick and motherfucker. All right, I'm gonna look at it. Let's wait here, because the break of the low still gives us quite a bit of range. Because you don't want to be entering here now. You want to be entering up here. Literally just spoke about these levels. Five held the hourly there back in range. Point. 1 minute. 1 minute. The jazz is starting to grow on you. Move to Utah, become a Mormon. Oh, like the music in the stream? W. Like we had the NBA draft. Maybe he's talking about the NBA. Yeah, I don't know about this chop now. Fucking last thing I want is a 1 hour, dude. That's below the 1 hour range. Let's look at the 4 hour. Not below the 4 hour. I wonder if this comes straight down. Can we get a buy here at support? Not coming straight down. Now it might, but give us that little top hook to this area. Yeah, so for a move up, like this is what you want. See how this, look at this. See that break of the lows there? You kind of want to break that low. See there was a support there. You've wicked into there. You want to get into that next support below there. Bang. And then look like eventually, right? Eventually look like this. But right now, this is likelier to come back down, right? Because the 1 hour, the 4, everything closed bearish. So I would expect this price to come down. If we're going to start moving back up, it might be this area, but you would need some bullish closures here at the 4 hour, and you would need the fake out on the hourly. So let's see if we clear all this up. All right, let's remove everything. See, the hourly closed below, back in range, but the 4 hour did not. So what you would preferably see, that you want to trade with the 4 hour. Maybe the 4 hour needs to establish a support. It means it needs to come down and come back up. If a 4 hour establishes support, you're going to see a 1 hour fake out. The 1 hour closed below the range. You can't take that buy here on the 1 hour, right? You'd have to see the 1 hour come down and fake out. You're understanding that, and you start looking for those sells for the 1 hour to come down, or for a level where the 1 hour says, okay, I've bottomed out. I'm going to go now and try to get an edge in terms of entry, because you understand what's happening in the grand scheme of things, in the overall picture here. Right? 4 hour created resistance did not close back in there. Yeah, you're likelier to fill this range down, which will be the wick fill, and you come down here. But overall, right, it could still make that bond would come up. And how would that happen? Fake out on the hourly, fake out on the 2 hour, which means you need to come down here immediately. Well, in the immediate aftermath of our session, what's happening right now, of the closure of that 4 hour, next 4 hours probably going to need to make a bottom wick. So your next thing, right? The narrative's telling you market's going to look to come down, create that bottom wick. And we find a sell here. A little tough. Let's look at the ranges. Boom. Okay, respecting. You can't, there's no break of the lows there. So maybe we need more candles to print. Maybe we want this to fake out on to the upside. Tap this resistance here. Maybe tap this resistance here to the left and come, maybe the most recent one right here, and come back down. Then you can say, all right, we're re-breaking lows after driving off a resistance. Right now, you're tapping to areas we've already tapped, and this is as far as they got you. To get any further, you're going to need deeper resistance, another level. But then you start looking at timing. Like by the time that happens, now it's only 5 minutes or 4 minutes left in a candle. Better to wait for it to close because then you're likely to avoid the wick drawdown of the next candle. Right, next candle wick takes you back to drawdown. Like you want to avoid that. Let's now concentrate on the next time frame, or the next level, or the next closure. Wait, are we out of music? Cannot be out of music. I'd also be careful here because while the hourly does want to come down with that wick, we see these wicks and they're all right into this closure. Right? Nothing to say we don't get a bullish closure and then another friggin' wick into there to move us up. You know? This is a level that clearly push price up. Yes, you clearly closed below. You want the break of the previous candle, but you don't want that break to be down here. So maybe you wait for this candle to close, but still respect our levels. We break the lows there. We have about a 33 pip advantage to the break to this candle, and then like how we respected the levels here. I just don't like the fact that this candle already drove down and came back up. Now we have a bottom wick here, right? So we want a closure respecting this level again. And then a drive. Higher time frame, the 15 printed bearish, the 30 printed bullish here. Chopping around. Looks like great. It wants to come down, drop, nice big wick, but don't forget you're coming from here. It's not like you made the wick, came up, made that top wick, and now you're back down here. No, you came up, then dropped down here to support, and now it came up. So the momentum is bullish. This is I consider this more of a rejection wick than a continuation wick based on how this printed. Now the higher time frame, this is the cleanest here. Below that wick that the previous 4-hour printed, right? This is the cleanest range down here. And when you get down here, you'll see price will typically break this area. You'll see a reaction here. This will give the market a chance to fake out, create that range 2, and then a break of that will usually drop you. Hey gang, while we're at it, please drop a like, sub to the channel. Congrats to everybody that got the W on there. You want to be part of positions outside of stream, get the bundle before the prices go up, and so you can be grandfathered in. And keep showing up to the streams. But please drop a like, sub to the channel. you have a beginner's course, yeah, show up to the streams, ask questions. You learn a lot more than just by reading a book. You'll see concepts that play live in real time. Understand what matters, what doesn't matter. But you have to know the things that don't matter in order to know that they don't matter. So you got to learn a lot to know what the kind of... We are like counterintuitive, man. In other words, you don't know what you don't know. But there are cases of people like, I know what I don't know. Like, you don't know what you don't know, but you can be super aware and know what you don't know. As in, like, I know I don't know ICT. So I don't trade like it because I know that I don't know it. Or whatever it is. You know, I know what I don't know, and I know not to use it because I don't know it, and try not to apply any of the concepts from there because that's not what I know. Or like, pattern, or not pattern, what is it called? The Batman signals and all. Last call, long or short. I'm not gonna force any hands here, bro. The way it's looking like right now, when usually like this to me, it looks like that whipsaw I was talking about might have bought. Right? Because you got that heavy push up right here with that wick. And a massive drop, and right, we're right back into this range. We usually don't stick around here the first time. Like once we get back in, we drive through it, and I would expect push to the highs before coming back down to this range and getting stuck in it again. I'm not expecting a fake out down now and come down now. I'm expecting maybe a bottom wick here to these areas to 83. Maybe we push right now and a bottom wick here to like 86 and then a continued push up to fill most of this wick. And then maybe just drop back into this gap. Like we drew up in the beginning of the stream. It's just the normal behavior of a whipsaw. And that's what this is, right? This top wick, this bottom wick. Let's go to the 2 hour, you see it. I sound like a cholo. Damn, we going late. 1 minute here on this 15 candle. I'm willing to look for a bottom wick buy here if we open up straight down. $40, $85, $87. This is like a 40 pip stop. I'd want to look here. On the next candle. Partials. We gotta have a top wick here. The first thing we gotta do is come down for a bottom wick. Five.
Dot two. I'm gonna take a buy right here. Little before 85.2, just took a buy. It's only to the flip. If we can get the flip. Wait, you flip already? All right, go break even. The candle's flipped. We're up about 15 pips, but I'm gonna go break even. We caught the tip of that wick.
Sorry, I don't have time to put it up here. I said I'm going to take a buy, market X. Right there. Let me see if we can push, or do we come back down in range? We come back down in range. We're up about 15 pips, but we come back down in range. 12 pips here. And then, like, it might just grab a steeper bottom wick and push up, but we're just banking on this first reaction. We don't want the rebreak of the lows now because it could push back down in range. We just want this to push up. Okay, so it stops to break even here, gang. Free position. It's struggling. We're probably gonna make a steeper bottom wick. We should have pushed immediately with volume. That it's struggling. Yeah, we broke the lows. Yo, no way! It literally tapped us out by a pip and came right back up. That's grimy. This shit better come down. I'm gonna be tight if it runs right now. He did that shit yesterday to us. It took me out and then ran for like 1,000. You better come down for a steeper bottom wick because I don't want to be tight. I don't want to be pissed. That's like, oh yeah, you had a good evening? Even if you don't lose, let me fuck up your mood here. But it did exactly as we said. It's going to come back down. First support, no top wick. You want the flip because a rebreak usually brings back down in range. Damn, it literally came back to the T. Mother. Come back down, bitch. Don't you drive right now. Don't fucking upset me. Oh. There we go. It's gonna push straight to TP right now. I'll reject right here. It be like that sometimes. Damn. That's partials right there. That wick to the left. This is where we take partials. About 50 pips there. The idea was there. This fucking thing came back, took us out, and we decided to drive right now. Usually you would see us links just straight up. Sometimes, yeah, there's time once or twice a month that it'll come back to that area. We take these positions often enough, but when it does, it'll usually re-break to the next support or back in range because it already flipped and grabbed orders. Well, you saw the idea. If you guys were able to get like a pip earlier or something, or you know, you guys all made money. I mean, you made money regardless. We got a W earlier today, but this is a BE here. So BE number 217. Saw the idea. You saw why. We explained it. We spoke about this. There was zero drawdown. Went straight into profits. Yeah, unfortunately for me, it came back to my being. Went back up, but idea's there. It's still working out. Still running. It's doing what we expect. The entire evening, the candles have done what we've kind of said they would. They should. Remember, we broke all this down. Do I have those pictures drawn still? Remember? In the beginning. This is what we broke down here. Oh, look at this. It actually wicked down to there. Let's see if it's like that on the 15. Take a little longer. Price did exactly that. Look. Boom. Coming back up here. It should break these highs to fill the wick. Maybe higher, but if you're once that resistance is reached, the drop down should be right back into this chop. And that's what this is. Right, when we drew this out in the beginning of the stream, right there. These things to the left right here, I was just saying, like, we should come down and do this, do that, the same way, just like in this chop, and then make a decision. But after this and breaking through that range, we're likely to see a whipsaw come down and then push right back through it. And look, the market is literally doing exactly what we printed 2 hours ago. Yes, bullish candles. Almost to the T. If you think A happens, B happens, C happens, D happens, E happens, what do you think is next? Like, if it's all just, you know, following the same thing, F is next here, right? But that's just typically how it works. Damn, that gave you 86 down. Gave you almost 50 pips for you. I made fucking $20,000. All right, I'll take 10%, bro. 10%. Oh, I'm so happy this is coming back down. Because maybe it gets that resistance finally printed here. And then we could talk about getting a closure. Getting late. Why am I so rich and a millionaire? Because you got the bundle, bro. You guys want to be like I win lottery jackpots? Get the bundle. Like, that is the only question you're ever gonna have. Because honestly, that's the only question he ever has. They got the bundle, gang. Why am I so rich and a millionaire? So that means you're rich life-wise, because you probably didn't tell anybody. Well, you didn't tell anybody that you're a millionaire, right? Not even your wife knows. And that's why you're rich, because you're like stress-free, and you're a millionaire. Rich millionaire. Bumbaclat. I need that soundbite. Good soundbite. All right, let's get rid of this. Yeah, honestly, I say this a lot when we have trades that are very nuanced, because a lot of times it's not just trades that are nuanced or entries or what the market does. A lot of times it's the nuance we discuss is usually because of drawdown. When like it doesn't go straight to profit, right? We discuss the nuances of managing risk. But in general, right? Trades when we are in positions and we discuss the concepts at play currently, those are the most valuable streams. When you see concepts play out in real time in live markets, it reaffirms their validity, right? And because you can see them work, and you see them work over and over and over, right? You start to memorize it because you see it. It's not just like something you read and like now you got to bump into it and wonder what it looks like on the charts. No, you see it. We break lows on that one just to re-break highs. Oh, man, I want a closure here, gang. Let's see if we get a closure. That's a 32, right? If we get that 30 above the range, we should be able to come up and fill the range. Hour no bottom wick. It would have been amazing if the 4 hour already bounced off of there. But like I said, the whipsaw, whippity saw. These suck. All right. This is pretty overextended here. So you want a resistance and you want to break that driving off support. If I look left here, market comes up off these areas. Ideally, we can print a resistance, maybe a celery play. Do I believe that's what will happen? No, with the volume, I think this candle might be up here in about 3 minutes. Call it a stream. Feel me? But and you'll see this, and then eventually you'll see it push up, break all the highs, and then push back down right into here. It doesn't mean it's going to tap and come down. Your job is to recognize what the candles are saying in terms of timing, right? We know the what, right? It's gold. We know the where, right? Up in terms of up or down, what we expect. The key is to find out when. You can figure out the when out of the where and the what. That's the only part. We know everything here. Your job is to figure out the when. Benny! My dinosaurs here. Sorry, gang. What breed is the dino? He's a T-Rex. Hey, come here. High five. Oh, shit. Bro, we gotta work on your T-Rex arms. Shit ain't working. We gotta work on your T-Rex arms. Give him the T-Rex arms. This motherfucker, he's so big. Bro. This guy. Go, get on. Pretty accurate looking. Yeah, he actually got it down pretty good. He's yeah, I got him in Jurassic Park. Yeah, they was just giving out T-Rexes and shit. There's 50 seconds here for this first 30 to close. The hourly still doesn't really have a bottom wick, but we broke the previous hourly high. And we're making higher highs, higher lows. Yeah, I would love to move up here. We get a closure above the most recent, above the overall. 30 seconds here. We're gonna need a break at a highs here. There's no bottom wick entry. That's all the way down here, and that will run for us. Or run against us. But yeah, he's like, he weighs more than all my daughters combined. All my kids combined don't weigh as much as him. All right, oof. Top wick. We break this low. I have a buy stop on the break of the previous candle high, because at that point, like, it's either it should fake out here or it should shut there. Come on, we need a bottom wick here. Yeah, I'm gonna have a buy stop on the break of the previous candle high. Right here, buy stop right. I'm gonna go break even at the wick fill to the left. That's roughly 20 pips. That's actually 20 pips on the dot. Looking for volume to take us up to these areas. But I'm not gonna close anything till we get up there. We got a support here. Tapped it. Right? The 5 sprinted a resistance here. We came down, tapped the support. In terms of the logic, right? Resist support. This is what the trade would look like once we active. Remember I said it would be amazing if we could break that low. Tap a support. Break that previous candle low. Tap a support, grab orders that it couldn't, and then drive up. Clean range to the left. Just like there's clean range to come down if we start closing below the levels. That was a 15 closure, that was a 30 closure. No bottom wick entry because there's already a top wick on this candle, which means the advantage is gone. I'm not in a position here. This is just what it would look like if it decides to break the highs. These white lines to stop. Ooh, look at this 1 hour. Little wig, we coming down, boy. Shall see. The hourly re-breaks its low. I'll just, I'm gonna call it, take it into the signal channel, and we'll see if we can get the private community on some positions throughout the evening. Yeah, once we break that hourly low. It's gonna push. Gonna push. Is it? I don't know. Yeah, I would need closures. It did. It broke that low right there. Yeah, let's get rid of this position. Yeah, I'm gonna call it a session here. Congrats to everybody getting a W tonight. And 20 grand. 20 grand for Chota Mama. Which in Russian means, what's up with that mom? Yeah. Possible position, a lot of volume here throughout the evening. We might actually have some after hours volume here. That's interesting. So a whipsaw here throughout the evening. What I'd like to see is some structure. So maybe a closure here, another support formed, then a break of that support, come down, or closure below here. We'll take this into the signature. We'll see what we do. So if you want to be a part of that, get the bundle. If you got the bundle, just stay locked in. There's positions to be had throughout the evening. A lot of clean range here to the left. We don't get.
Yeah, I'm calling it as well too. It's kind of.
It's late, but the thing is, if once you start getting into like pre-London, right, 1:30, and the 4-hour closing up, you're entering these clean ranges, but you're gonna see some moves. So that's what I'm gonna expect, and I'll see you guys throughout the evening. Yeah, if you're closing up shop, I don't blame you. Me too. Here for the Asian session at least. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Zoom gang, I'll see you guys in the clubhouse side of things. Mods, thank you so much for helping me run the stream. Chat, love and wisdom to you all. I'll see everybody here tomorrow, probably in the evening. I don't think New York starts until. Oh, I fixed all the memory problems with my PC. Yeah, everything was being stored on drive C, and drive D was like completely empty with like terabytes and terabytes of space. So I had to move stuff over to drive D. Yeah, gave my computer the D, or the files the D. And yeah, so now I should be able to update everything within Zoom, update everything within OBS. And I'm looking to, once everything is ready to go, I'm hoping it'd be done tomorrow, right now, but it's not done yet, and I'll be ready to go as soon as that's done. So maybe tomorrow, maybe day after tomorrow, maybe start next week. As soon as I got that, I'll let you guys know, hey, New York session stream. Outside of that, yeah, I'll probably see you guys tomorrow. Okay, gang, that's my time. My time here is up. I gotta run, and just like that, another Asian session is in